Hi, let's talk about the role of Michael Porter in the field of strategy. Contributions made by Michael Porter. Especially, he talked about competitive strategy. And there were two major contributions. He talked about what affects a company or a firm, especially its competitive position within a market or an industry. And then he talked about generic competitive strategies that a firm could adopt. The first one, where he talks about is something called the five forces model, where he talked about the forces that affect the competitive position of a firm in the market or in the industry that it operates. What affects or impacts a firm's competitive position or the competitive position of the organization? The position of the organization vis-a-vis or with respect to the competitors or competition that it faces. There are five forces at play which affect the firm's position with respect to or vis-a-vis the competition. These are: first is bargaining power of buyers. Buyers are the customers of the company's products. So what kind of bargaining power do they have? Buyers are customers, and you depend on your customers to sell your products. So how strong are they with respect to you? If they are strong, then you have to, it's what one would call a buyer's market, where buyers have choices. They can go to another firm, they can buy competing products. You have to be worried about pleasing them all the time and all that. So if they are strong, then your position is a bit weak. And they are strong when they have alternatives, when there is too much competition. If it's the other way around, if it's a seller's market, then the bargaining power of buyers is low because the competition is not that much. So the company is in a stronger position. The other force is the bargaining power of suppliers. Sometimes the suppliers that you buy from can be weak and can be strong. If there are only a few suppliers, then they have a strong bargaining position, and you have to go according to them. You can't negotiate much with respect to prices or delivery schedules or even the quantity that you want to buy, and you have to go as per their requirements and demands and dictates. That can happen at times when there are powerful suppliers and only a few suppliers. It's a what would call we called a monopoly. Monopoly is when the buyer, when there are only a few people who enjoy the market. You are the only one producing that product, and you are enjoying a monopolistic situation. And if a supplier enjoys a monopoly, then that becomes a problem for you as a buyer. Then again, it is about your buyers. So there can be monopolistic suppliers or suppliers who enjoy monopoly, and their bargaining powers would be higher with respect to you who are their buyers. And that would affect your competitive position with respect to in the market, of course. Then there is jockeying for position among the existing players in the industry. The rivalry that you have with your competition, how intense it is, and everybody is fighting for market share and all that. If it is an intense rivalry, there is intense jockeying for position, then that is obviously affecting your day-to-day operations. Then there is threat of new entrants. You have competition, and more competitors and rivals are also likely to enter. If more people enter, then the competition scenario is going to heat up, and that's going to create more problems. And finally, there can be threat of substitutes. Not people offering the same product, but people offering a different product, a substitute product, but which would still affect your sales. For example, you are selling pagers and somebody starts selling cell phones. It's a different product, but then people say, oh, we don't use pagers, we don't need pagers, we'll buy cell phones. So the product is different, but it's a substitute product, and it takes away your market because people want to go for that product. So these are the five forces that can affect your competitive position. The other thing that Porter talked about is well known for is his contribution to competitive strategy, generic competitive strategies. What are the strategies that you could pursue while you are competing? He said there are three options available to a firm. You can either pursue the strategy of cost leadership, or you can pursue the strategy of focus, or you can pursue the strategy of differentiation. And you can't do all three at the same time. Maybe you can do a bit of combination of one or two, maximum two maybe. You can't be everything to everybody. You can't please all the people all the time. So you have to choose. It's a trade-off. For example, cost leadership means you are able to you control your costs, and therefore you are able to produce or offer products which are very competitively priced. Maybe your products are the cheapest in the market. So when you are offering the cheapest product, obviously it helps you a lot, and competition is in difficulty. Your competitors find it difficult to compete because your product is the cheapest product in the market, and there will always be buyers for your kind of product. That is called cost leadership, where you fight basically on price, and your prices are the lowest because you are able to control your costs or limit your or reduce your costs. So that is cost leadership strategy. Or you can do a differentiation strategy. Differentiation means how are you different from your competition? How are your products or services or offerings different from your competition? You do something different. There is something different in your product which attracts customers, which is not, those features are not available in the competing products or services or offerings of the competition, so they buy from you. Or you focus. Focus is you identify a particular set of customers who are not currently being catered to properly by the existing competition or existing players in the market, and you tailor your products or your service, your offerings to suit the specific or unique requirements of that particular niche segment of the market or that customer segment, and you focus on those customers. And when you are focused on those customers, your products and offerings and services would be uniquely tailored to meet their requirements and will cater to them better than the others can, so you can compete more effectively. So to compete effectively, you have to either be a cost leader or a differentiator or a focused operator. Now you can't do all three simultaneously. Sometimes it's just not possible that you can do everything. You will have to choose. Maybe you can have either this or that, maybe two out of three combinations, but you can be the cheapest product and the best quality product and everything. You can be Rolls-Royce and Maruti at the same time. That kind of a thing would be difficult to achieve. So there has to be a trade-off. So these were the major contributions of Michael Porter in the field of strategy. 5 forces model, in which he talks about factors that affect the competitive position of a firm in its market, and generic competitive strategies that a firm could adopt. Thank you.